It's Randy Burke here again. Very much looking forward to talking to you about cost-effective and practical cleaning technology. It's a big factor when you look at the cost of cleaning and all the elements that go in to assist the actual cleaners themselves. And what I always like to say is do hook into the manufacturers and distributors representatives, smart people. They know what they're talking about, and they're very interested often when their equipment and materials hits your building. So, and this presentation, needless to say, is what's working now in the marketplace. By no means is it all encompassing or complete, but yeah, working on it. So yeah, looking at understanding why it's important, well, cleaning staff have often two jobs. So fatigue is a big factor. And so getting the right equipment that's ergonomically correct and such makes a huge difference. Um, and technology is going to allow property and facility managers to get the information they need so that they understand what's happening. And as we see, manage data, don't chase dirt. So I'm going to talk about it really into three categories: equipment, tools, and technology. And the biggest single impact really is on productivity. Again, the majority of your cost is in your cleaning contract is labor, and the more productive the cleaners can be, obviously, the better job they'll do, but for the quality. But they'll also be able to get the job done on time, less absenteeism, and all those things. So when you look at productivity, how does it help? Well, needless to say, if you're using an auto scrubber versus a mop, it makes a huge difference. And it goes with everything. The proper tools and equipment is really going to go a long way. And certainly same situation with the quality that you're going to get. Right equipment will give you better quality as you'd expect. And cost is a large factor. Again, as productivity is positively improved and you properly amortize and select the right equipment, your cost is going to be very much in line. So yeah, looking at equipment, robotics, of course, are a big thing, and in particular, auto scrubbers themselves. So when you look at the new auto scrubbers, one of the key thing robotics is the key things is that they match the building. You've got to have a lot of open runway space. Uh, you know, uh, Robotic auto scrubbers do not walk stairs, um, and so you do have to look at your building and see if it's worth the investment. Um, with lithium batteries, you can get 200,000 square feet of auto scrubbing on a single charge. So that is a major consideration. Not only that, when you look at auto scrubbers in heavily retailed centers, sometimes there's a lot of displays that change. Christmas, every season, Easter and such. That requires reprogramming of an auto scrubber. Not that big of a deal, but depending on how much open space you have that doesn't change, it can have a factor. And there's robotic vacuum cleaners too, and same situations apply. A lot of them are very effective and cost effective. I'm showing you there a square scrubber, kind of a next generation floor machine. Um, it does in fact have variable speeds, it buffs, it scrubs, but it goes right into the corners of floors and such, which have always been historically an issue. I like it, it works well. Escalators are a very significant cleaning issue. Um, Depending on how many and how long, you might select to have an outside service come in, or even your own contractor bring in one of the large escalator cleaning machines. I mean, they're $70,000, $100,000, but you only need to do them. They do a wonderful job. Um, 2 or 3 times a year. And then other than that, there's sponges you can use, um, and other brooms and mops and such. But the sponge system is actually pretty effective. And in regards to washroom systems, um, daily cleaning is fairly straightforward, but the real sanitization, often you're using a machine that would spray sanitized solution with heat, and you literally spray the holes, all the surfaces down, squeegee them, and wipe them clean. Kaivac is a great machine. There's others like that, and so those are kind of the washroom systems that, from an equipment point of view. Tools have come a long way. The squeegee, of course, for window cleaning is still there, but day to day within reach, there are microfiber tools and cloths that require no fluid at all, and so very effective. Cart systems are interesting. One size does not fit all. So, you'd have a cart that might be in a retail setting where it locks, so people can't, access it, kids and such. And then in an office building, the carts that are moving throughout the floors, depending on the size of the building, they may just be light duty carts, but some of the other carts may have um, actual mop buckets that fit on them, or flat mops. And so yeah, and as small as what looks like a briefcase for day porters in executive areas. When you look at cleaning agents, of course, post-COVID, we're very interested in sanitizing, and uh, and so the sanitizer general purpose cleaners, um, yeah, they you're looking for something that has a dwell time, 3 or 4 minutes at the most. You want that kill agent, and standing around just isn't in the cards in terms of the productivity. And I mean, the specialty neutral floor cleaners and um, all the other types of specialty washroom cleaning agents you can get in place. Safety systems are really important, in particular when you look at, obviously wet floor signs and such, but also the recording of the data around slips and spills, cleanups for slip and falls. WMIS sign-off training is all online now, so there's a lot available. From a pure technological point of view, the computer control software has come a long way. Um, they do the majority of the kind of reporting in a single program that you would need, often white labeled, so they'd come looking at as if it's straight from your service provider. Not just cleaning inspections, but KPI reporting, training, equipment maintenance, all these key indices that really speak about how the contract is being managed and delivered is in these softwares. And client soft sign-ons are available. And yeah, they're usually charged per user. And yeah, they're very effective. So that's the principal tool for reporting and data collection online. And we always recommend that you do a quarterly meeting on a larger building, or maybe twice a year in a smaller building, and review that face to face with your service provider. The smartphones are the key input tool with photographs, online input onto spreadsheets, um, videos. Yeah, that's the key. And all of these things require some pretty intensive training. Um, you need smart supervisors that are able to understand technology and specifically use the tools and the programs that are in place. GPS um, and occupancy monitoring, two different things. Um, GPS, where the cleaners are, and tracking movement and productivity and such, it is a real tool, particularly in large spread out sites. Um, there are programs now that use sensors, which are getting more and more inexpensive, to tracking where the tenants are. So now you can sort of match where cleaners need to go to do the cleaning, and and where they can be efficient. There is some new washroom technology coming out that's quite exciting, with a device that not only the washroom user would put in their input. Do they like what they see? Does it need servicing, paper as such? But it goes a lot farther in terms of when the washroom was serviced and who did it and such. It's pretty interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing this hit the market. So yeah, so key considerations, what's scaling, right? Like what type of building do you have? How large is it? So what fits? Really what fits in terms of the core cleaning equipment, the technology, the machinery, the maintenance for that. So, you know, do check into um, with the equipment and distributors and providers, or ourselves, of course, we can help you with that. Um, and then does it all work together? You know, not only do the individual systems and programs work, but are they understood and are they integrated into the cleaning program? And so that often is actually an operational plan that is put together by the service provider and in conjunction with the client. So at startup, yeah, these are expensive items. Some of them over $100,000 or more on some of these big robotic auto scrubbers. So yeah, the impact of that, most of it's amortized over 5 years, smaller items over 2 or 3 years. But yeah, they're in fact sometimes cost shared um, or extra billed as an item beyond sort of a normal cleaning cost. And there's often wait time to get the machinery itself. So there's some considerations you need to put in place. And if it's a new contract, then you know there may be equipment that's on site that already, particularly if it's an incumbent contractor continuing on, then you could um, allow that to be used with as long as it's in good condition. Often when we do an RFP, if the incumbent um, is given the contract, that's part of the negotiations in the startup. It's kind of a real high level. So happy as always to give information along these lines. Next one's on where else can you get broad information about the cleaning industry and support services. So that will be our final one next week, and very much appreciate it. Thanks for your time. Here's our team. We love to see your comments on LinkedIn and on our web feed. And yeah, discussions, advice is free. Give us a call. Thanks so much.